Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully all of you are doing well out there. I'm, of course, your host, Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about a very old Tier 8 American Premium Medium Tank, the T26E4 Super Pershing. Now, this is a vehicle that is currently on the tech tree and will always be on the tech tree as a premium vehicle. I think it costs about 7,500 gold, if I'm not mistaken, and that's actually not a terrible price when you think about it for a Tier 8 Premium in general, especially because this tank has the best credit coefficient for any Tier 8 in the game. So very impressive there. You will be coming home with stacks and stacks of credits if you manage to pick up this vehicle. So in today's video, I figured, you know what? I'm a newer YouTuber. My channel's only been up for about maybe a year and a half or so now, and with that year and a half, this tank has been in the game for many years. So I never really had the chance or the idea to make a review on this tank. So I figured, you know what? For today's video, let's do a little bit of a throwback. Let's talk about the T26E4. What's good? What's bad? And is it even worth it to consider putting this tank in your garage over some of the Tier 8 premiums currently in the stores, like, let's say, the Type 59. So first of all, what is good about this tank and what is bad? So the armor on this tank is really what is fantastic. It is built on the chassis of a Pershing. As you can see, it's the same turret the Pershing has, the same hull, but the frontal armor has space added all over to it. You can see the frontal plate is very thick because of that. Now, it does have a couple weak spots. You got the gunner port, which doesn't really get shot much. You've got the weak spots above the turret, the cupolas. You've also got the cheeks underneath the spaced armor, which of course are very easy to penetrate. And the biggest weakness, honestly, for this tank is the side armor. Because it's a Pershing hull, it's very easy to penetrate, only 76 millimeters on the side. But at the same time, the Super Pershing's frontal armor is fantastic. In fact, I would trust this frontal armor more than most of the Tier 8 heavies currently in the game, which is very impressive when you do think about it. But it does have some issues. First of all, the mobility. This tank with only 575 horsepower, yeah, it is not very mobile. 40 kilometers per hour forward. It does go very quickly in reverse, so at 18, and as well, it's got a decent power to weight of 11.3, which means it does get up to speed, but it really does struggle in general on just staying at 40. But it's got a very nice traverse speed at 45.73, so very nice on that. The turret traverse is very slow on this tank, only 24.3. I think that's actually the worst for a Tier 8 medium. And moving on to the gun, it's also a mixed match. It's got good aiming time at 4 seconds, bad dispersion at 0.344. It's got bad damage per minute at 2,071, but then again, we go back up to the good, and it's got very nice penetration at 215 on the standard and 271 on the premium. Now, I am running calibrated because, of course, with a DPM that poor, might as well just boost the pen as it is, but it really is a mix-matched tank. It's got a lot of good things going for it and a lot of bad things at the same time. Now, one thing I just realized is I do not have toolbox on this vehicle, but, of course, in today's video, I'm going to be doing a full-down review on the tank, showing you what's good, where the position, and everything else like that, what goes through my mind as I am playing it. So if you enjoyed today's video, and especially want to see more like this, maybe some other throwback videos, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, as it really does help out the channel a crazy amount. We're almost at 35,000 subscribers, which is crazy to think that you guys could support the channel that much, so thank you for all the support. But without further ado, let's get straight into the game. Now, as I said, this is a medium tank, even though you can see it is slow. It's very slow in getting up to top speed. It is a medium at true full heart. So what that means is I am going to push it to the medium side. The enemy team has two fast tanks. They've got the T34-2 and as well the AMX 1390, which makes me versus two tanks, which is not great off the bat. But I'm going to stay in this bush because it will give me advantages, at least on spotting them, if they think that, oh, hey, we can push over here. Now, at the same time, if their whole team decides to go to this side, I'm going to bail quicker than you could imagine. But judging that the WZ-120 is over there, we've also got the Tiger II Savage. It looks like that they will be going over to that side. Ooh, that was a fantastic shell coming from my tank. Now, we are not spotted, which means I'm not worried about them actually coming to this side. We've actually got the side of that a Mills turret. I would be very surprised if this hit, but to be fair, that's what happens sometimes. So we're going to push up to mid. This is a very nice position here. If you go towards the middle of the map, you can work gun depression very nicely. Not only can you work gun depression because, of course, this is a Pershing, has 10 degrees of gun depression. Very nice on that statistic, but I honestly have no clue where the rest of their team is, and that's one thing that's very weird, because two tanks are detected, and that means their whole team must be camping. We know the Emil is camping, not a great player if you're camping, but at the same time, he might just be pushing in a little bit later. But because their whole team's camping, I'm expecting to pull around this corner and spot a whole bunch of tanks, which, as you can see, we pretty much much did, as I said. So there's a nice shot into the ISU-152. Let's see if we can get another shell out. Come on, fire. There you go. Nice tracking shell at that. Now we've got tanks like the RHM. So let's get one more shell into the ISU. Come on, fire. Yes, perfect. Okay, now the RHM could hit me, but I'm just going to keep on pushing forwards here. Yes, the RHM did hit me. A very high roll at that as well, but I just wanted to get into position. That way we can get over here and stay a lot more calm and patient. And oh my god, the RHM is already dead. Well, that's not good for him, I can tell you that. Now we got a tank like the 1390 on my side, but we should be able to wiggle this off. There you go. There's that bounce we were looking for. You can see that armor working fantastically like it's supposed to. Come on, bounce me again. Bounce it. You know you want to. Let me show that wonderful armor this tank has. Well, you can see how much he's struggling to pen me. Honestly, not even too worried about him. Judging that he's spending that long to aim, he's not one of the best players, so yeah, we're just gonna... I'm sorry, dude, but... Oh, yeah. Okay, well, there went the AMX 1390, and you can see that this thing bullies tanks that don't have great penetration. This wasn't a fantastic game, but to be fair, there wasn't much more I could have done this battle other than that. We did get hit by the RHM, and big caliber shells, as I said, will easily cut through that tank, but that was actually a really nice shot from the RHM. That went through, as you could see there, that shell actually penetrated the top of the turret. That is a big weak spot on the tank, is the roof of the turret. As well, it's got little cheeks, so it does have weak spots all over. I would say if you want to penetrate the upper plate, you need about 230 millimeters of premium pen, and the lower plate is actually weird, because a lot of people always say, oh, you can't pen it with heat, because that's how it is in World of Tanks PC, but that is actually very, very incorrect. Wargaming changed this tank, I would say about a year after it was added to the game, when they reworked the gun. It actually used to carry the T26E4 gun, but they changed it a lot. They added more pen, lowered the accuracy, lowered the DPM, which I personally don't like. They also made it less mobile when they changed the gun out. I personally liked it originally, but at the same time, the tank, it's actually lower plate, used to be not pennable by heat shells, and I still have a lot of people on live streams and other videos like that that say, oh, you can't penetrate the bottom with heat when I say that, but you actually can. So that's one little fun fact there. You can penetrate the lower plate of this tank with heat if you do get a nice shell into it. It is troll, but you can do it quite easily. Now that was a nice shell from the 44. Again, you can see the weak spot on this tank is the roof of the turret. It's a very big weak spot at that, but we should be able to get a nice snap. That actually was a very nice snap onto the Annihilator's turret there. We've got tanks like the T44 here, and the great thing about this tank, as we do know, is that the armor works very well. So, oh, that gun though, but the armor works well, which means I can kind of sit on this ridge quite confident in my abilities to at least bounce a couple shells here. Now that is an ISU, and while I do trust my armor, I don't trust it the most against a ISU-152 because, of course, that carries a big gun. That's guy getting another snap. You can see another weak spot, as I did say, the cheek. So the T44 is actually a player I'm going to start targeting because he seems to be skilled enough to know where my weak spots are, knowing how to shoot me, which is not something I am at least the biggest of fans of. So let's see if we can get a shell into the T44 out of all the vehicles here. There you go, just angling that turret up correctly there to get that nice ricochet. We've also got tanks like the Lupus, but you know what, we'll get another tap into that 44 if he lets me. Of course I will. So there's a nice tap into the enemy T44. Again, we've got the FE31 off to the side, but we're of course going to keep trying to tap this 44 as he's the only person that has been able to pen me so far. So he's not doing too healthy anymore. We've got tanks like the Lupus over here as well. Let's get a nice little snap into him. Angle that mantlet up, as you can see. It makes it a lot trickier to pen. We're doing a pretty dang good job, to be fair, on the damage. There's another nice bounce. You can see the tank really just does a fantastic job on bouncing shells. The turret armor works fantastically. And yeah, that guy shooting HE at my mantlet, you can see it's not going to work too well. There's another bounce. So we've already done 2,000 damage in this battle here. We've blocked a lot of damage as well. Let's get another nice snap into the lower plate of the Lupus here. Looks like he's pushing out quite aggressive, but in 2 more seconds we will have another shell loaded. Let's even try and get that track wheel. Perfect tracking shell into the guy, and we should be able to just keep getting shells out and out here. Let's load premium as well. Now we can start tapping premium into the T44's turret, but a bit of an issue has arisen, which would be a Tiger 2 on Mabuti. So we're going to back up here. Let's see if we can pen the shell. There you go. Nice penetration onto him, but the team is falling apart very quickly. In fact, quicker than I would definitely like. It is a now, it's a 2 versus pretty much everyone. Nice snap into that guy. And yeah, you can see that my team is not necessarily the best of teams, but we're doing the best we can here. We did the best we could, to be fair. This game was, I couldn't have performed it better in probably any other tank. And, ooh, there's a nice bounce to show how the armor works. Oh, yeah. Got to love that frontal armor. So let's just get maybe a tap. Nah, we couldn't get out much more there. But to be fair, you could see that the tank works so well on a ridgeline. It really beasts just through all other tier 8 tanks. As a second class badge at 3500 damage, and while it was a defeat, it's so strong on just the abilities to hold a line. Like that T44, an equal tiered opponent, couldn't do much against me. Even an ISU bounced on my upper plate. I was bouncing shells from the Tiger, the Lupus, pretty much every heavy tank on their team could not pen me when I was hull down. I was wiggling that turret, I was playing it correctly, and you can see that it really does do a very nice job. And we probably earned a decent amount of credits there. Yeah, 85,000 credits. The other game we played, 77,000. It has the highest credit coefficient for a tier 8 medium, or tier 8 in general. So honestly, I do think that it's a very nice tank. And it usually comes to the stores much cheaper than on the tech trees. Probably like 5,500 gold you could get your hands on this tank, about 10 bucks maybe as well, with 30 days of premium. I would suggest to actually keep your eyes out for it. It's one of the best tanks to not only enjoy your time, bounces a lot of shells, it's really diverse, flexible in its playstyle, but as well, it just does a great job on earning credits, which of course is what a lot of players want for a tier 8 vehicle, is to earn credits to make their way down the line. So this is a tank I would definitely suggest to get. It's very cheap, and I really do enjoy running it. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, you want to see more like it, please make sure to smash that subscribe button down below. If you liked today's video and you want to see more like it as well, make sure to click that like button. If you hated it, click that dislike button. Let me know in the comments down below why you didn't like it. But other than that, hopefully all of you are doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.